Time now for weather with Nebraska Extension Ag Climatologist and Market Journal Chief Meteorologist Al Dutcher. And Al, rain earlier this week, but otherwise been pretty mild one for us. What can we expect for the last full week of April?
Well, Tori, you're correct. We did see some scattered showers, and we actually seen some warmer temperatures this last week, and we have actually seen some planters finally getting out ready to roll. Unfortunately, as we look forward to this weekend, it looks like at least the first half is going to be nice, and there's some questions concerning the second half, particularly over western Nebraska, as we do have a system moving into the region. But more importantly, we have at least started to see a rebound in temperatures in this last week, although we did see a couple precipitation events. Nothing that was really extraordinary in terms of heavy accumulations outside of a small pocket there between Grand Island and Hastings, where we've seen some thunderstorms developing during the midweek period and rapidly move toward the east. So there was some localized quarter to a half-inch totals, but for most everybody else, a few sprinkles or a few light instability showers is about the extent of the real significant moisture. So as we go to the upper air charts, the first thing we'll draw your attention to is a big system to our east that's going to keep things cool and wet, and then our attention turns to this trough to the west that's moving into a region. But you'll see that high pressure ridge in place. We have low pressure showing up around the plains, but we just don't have the moisture source yet to really bring significant moisture into our region. So most of the activity will remain to our west, and we would expect that as we get into Sunday morning, this trough is starting to make its way toward the southern plains. Low pressure starts to develop in Texas. That's going to start to lift moisture around that low pressure system, and we should see some upslope flow precipitation, particularly in the panhandle. So most of the areas that are going to be seeing precipitation in the morning will most likely be to the western part of the state. And then this trough starts to lift on Monday, and the low pressure system still stays organized down the Texas panhandle. That's going to keep moisture into our region, and that's going to intersect with a front moving from the northern plains. So we're going to see a convergence of precipitation, heaviest in the western panhandle. And then we start to see a slowing of this trough as it lifts towards the northeast. The surface low is over by St. Louis. That's going to wrap precipitation around, and we could see some locally heavy precipitation, maybe in extreme southeastern Nebraska and a little bit farther north, depending on the overall track of this model. And then the system tries to move its way out to the Great Lakes as high pressure builds into the central and southern plains region. Very warm temperatures are expected during the midweek period as that warmth builds back in and the heavy precipitation moves over to our counterparts in the eastern Corn Belt. By Thursday, we really start to see this ridge building in to our region. The trough deepens actually, so we're going to see widespread precipitation in the lower and mid-Mississippi River Valley region. For our region, we're going to be under the influence of high pressure. South to southwesterly flow will keep temperatures well above normal, and we'll see that trend continue into Friday as this high pressure system stays in place. Most of the real inclement weather remains to our east. There is surface lows developing with a northern stream across the Dakotas, but as you can see, not much in the way of any Gulf moisture making it into the region. So overall, we have a very good chance of seeing some good planting weather once we get by this system early in the week. More importantly, the models are indicating that we may actually have to deal with the end of the month precipitation, and in terms of the 8 to 14 day forecast, we keep the warm conditions in place, but we also notice a very significant increase in precipitation, particularly in the southern plains. And if we're going to look at Nebraska, the best probabilities for above normal moisture during this period to end the month is going to be across the southern half of the state and over to the Great Lakes area. So Troy, it does look like there's opportunities for planting next week. Overall, it looks like this weekend is going to be good the first half, bad the second half.